Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Wow, back. He is back. And now I just need to check to make sure my stream is working. Nope, not yet. What's going wrong here? Testing, testing. No, it should be working. Let me see. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yep, it's working. Amazing. Right. That's good news. I'll keep it on my phone. There's no one here. That's what happens when you take 6 months off. Or 3 months off, sorry. 3 months. So I'm meant to be streaming at 11. So I'm just going to spend the next half an hour looking at some things, and then I'm going to start at 11. So I'm just going to write that down. Good morning. Stream time. Okay, let's see if anyone turns up. Probably not. Probably not. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Let's have a look at a few things here. I feel like I need to delete all my charts. Actually, the problem when you delete your charts is it takes so long to analyze. Bitcoin is the main one. Wow, look at that V-shaped recovery there on the SPX. Bam! What a V. It's very similar to this one here. Wow, that's a V and a half. It's like this one here. Look, this is the one. Look. It's like this one. Down, up. 1, 2, 3, up. We'll just grind it up. Wow. Oof. 6 months ago. This is quite an interesting chart, actually, because I can see there's something going on here. And it's coming into the golden pocket now. Mid-July, yeah, for the 1.16. And then, I mean, ideally, that's your entry point right there. And we've got a swing failure here. I don't know if it's going to go down that far. It hasn't really gone, it hasn't really moved much apart from these 2 weeks, this 1 week here, there and there. That's the biggest move. We would have to do that again. Bam, bam. It's not likely, is it? Especially since it's only just coming into the golden pocket here. It's not likely to happen. So what you might get actually here, that's the harmonic. These are the timings. It's possible that you just get a swing failure of this low here. Right there. Bam. Just like that. Yeah, maybe next week. Next week or the week after. And it kind of, it's not right, because that's not right. Should be down here. That's perfect here, down here to the 786. That's your high probability trade. Check it out. That might be enough. Doesn't look right, but the timings are quite good. So timings are quite good. So I haven't started yet. I'm going to start in 22 minutes. I'm just kind of having a look at some things, just messing about really. Wow, look at cake, pancake. What a pancake looks like. And kind of this. It's squeezing, it's coiling up, isn't it? You can see. You can see that cake is coiling up. Interesting. I'm going to redo all my charts, I think, because it's obviously a lot of mess from before. I have literally not looked at my charts in 3 months. This is interesting because the price is coming to this previous, this is Solana, and this previous point of control there. See that? Solana is actually coming into a really good place because I've got this channel marked out. And I don't know why, but it's coming into a really good place. Solana is. Let me extend that. Yeah, look at that. That's a really, really good place for Solana. Right there. Trying to find support. Trying to find support. I have to have a look at that. Let's have a look at BTC. Yeah, BTC is at a really good place because you're coming at the point of the VWAP, the anchored VWAP from 2020. This is against BTC. There. Yeah, Solana's in a really good place, to be honest with you. Not quite yet, but almost. Haven't started yet, guys. I'm just waiting for 11 a.m. It's in 20 minutes. Say hi if you want. I'll say hi back. I'm looking at my chat to the left here. Again, I'm wearing my Dtravel hat. I've got some things to say about Dtravel and TRVL. TRVL looks like shit. Oh my god, it looks like hell. I have some ideas for TRVL. I was just messing around. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of there. What I want to have a look at is I'll pull up the next one. Yeah. Let's have a look at altcoin dreamings. Oof. So yeah, a lot of these altcoins have dropped. Look at that, port 3. Wow. It pumped. Look at that. It was a pump and a half. It's like 4x. Interesting. Let's have a look at all these charts at the top here. Airbnb. Let's quickly have a look at it. It just looks like it's range bound, doesn't it? Airbnb. Bullish. GBP versus USD. All-time high on Nvidia. Crazy. Bounce. Value area high, and then what should it go up? 29%. Tesla is looking shit. It's still good, but it's looking shit. But it's still good. All-time high there. So look at the DXY. Drop. Wow. Bounce of the golden pocket, lost the golden pocket, just lost the golden pocket. So probably down to here, down to these lows. What time is it now? We have 16 minutes to go. Okay, how should we do this? My BTC chart is basically clean, effectively. I've got stuff on previous analysis, but I don't really need to redo it, so I can just keep it and just see what I did before. Channels and such. But look at that, it's all the way back up to those horizontal. Look at how amazing these horizontal channels were. And it actually sliced this one without a thought, and it went up to the top there. So you're getting quite good reaction off these horizontal channels. which I drew a long time ago, and naturally it hit the top here. Look, see that? I think it was 111 there. It was a perfect tap off that horizontal. That's the horizontal. These are horizontal channels which are just cloned from historical support and resistance levels. Pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated about these channels. See that? And then you have kind of this upward ascending channel as well, and we kind of hit that as well. We're kind of into that, so we are into a little bit of resistance at the moment. That's what it looks like to me on Bitcoin at the moment. And so what I'm going to do now, I might start a little bit earlier. And not, I can just wait until 11. I can still wait, but what I can do now is I can go onto XO charts and pull off the data. Let's have a look at XO charts and see what's going on here. I'm looking for the naked points of control right now, and that's what I'm going to mark off now. They're the end parks. These are good levels. These are like previous daily points of control which haven't been touched yet, so they're called naked points of control. These red lines are where they haven't been hit yet, so we've actually got a couple above us and the rest are below us. What I usually do is I just mark them out and I put them on my charts. I'm going to mark it in chat at the moment. I'm just going to go through this and just update my charts. This gives us a good idea for trades. So 111780. So it's daily and naked daily. So naked daily and naked daily control. Did that work? I don't know if that chat worked. Yes. 111800. 110880. This one's been touched. Do you see that? And the next one is 101920. Why did I do that? Zoom out again. 101940. Nine four 100. 91260. 84520. 82680. 7724. That's it. More data. Maybe this prints. Get a little bit more data. Probably not actually, because it went back up, didn't it? So let's see how far it goes back. Get anything lower. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Let's try and print. Printing. You have to be patient. Oh, it's coming. There you go. 68740. Any more? Oh, maybe. Get anything lower? Yes. Look at these juicy ones lower down. 56920. Five, 4, 4, 8. And 5, 4, 8, 4. That's it, basically. I think that's enough. This is the weekly. So we're in the current week now. So why is this not zooming? This is the weekly. We have 85110. 76594. Why is this lagging so much? Much lower down. What is that one? 62316. 62316. A bit more. Any more data? Yes. Was that tapped? No. It's really lower. 47490. The weekly ones, and let's do the monthly ones as well. Oh, we have a really nice juicy monthly point of control right there. Naked monthly point of control. 104986. 104986. Got one down here. What is that one? 84142. This one's been tapped. Amazing. Oh, look at that. Ping. And you've got one all the way down here. This is a big one. 5, 8. $58,000. Any more? Probably lower down. Let's go back in time. Is that 52? No, it's been tapped. See that? So this is much, much lower. Look at that. 3, 4, 5, 8, 8. It's really low. And it's unlikely, yeah? Unlikely. So you have your naked points of control, and then you're looking for single prints, right? So we have a bunch of single prints in the 5-minute time frame. and go to a higher time frame, to be honest with you. Look at all these big single prints here, single print all the way down to this buying tail. So we've got some big single prints here. Haven't looked at single prints in a long time, so there must be a whole bunch of single prints. My XO is lagging a little bit, so I'll probably leave the single prints for now. Probably. Oh, the last, look at that drop. So let's go back to the charts. What time is it? It's 10:56. I'm starting in 4 minutes. 4 actual minutes. I'll be starting this analysis. And so in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of those points, those naked points of control that I've just created. I'll go back up to my chat. I just wrote them in chat. Naked daily point of control. So let's start with the dailies. And start with the highest one. That's your first one right up there. 1108. It's a couple up above us for that. Bam. 101,940. Nine for 100. Nine 1260. 84520. Eight 2860. Seven 7240. 68740. 56920. 54480. 5484. It's basically together. That's the dailies. I'm going to put this in a group. Box. Got the dailies. Going to just chuck in the weeklies. That's a different color. Starting at the top, 85110. Bit of work, a little bit of work. 76594. You have to put in the work. You can't just imagine that the price is going to do what it wants. It doesn't do what it wants. It does what the liquidity says it wants it to do. Basically, that's basically how the price moves. 62316. It's all about liquidity and timing, effectively. 47490. That's the weekly, monthlies. Let's go back up to the top. It's again, that's a different color. 104986. Round it. You can round it off. 84142. 84142. Bam! Look at that. Wow, it's a lot of confluence there. And 580. And the lowest one is 34588. All the way down here. Doesn't really matter. 3, 4. So I'm just kind of adding the points of control. So just in case people aren't familiar with that, you only do this on Bitcoin, but these are where the price has not revisited a previous point of control on the different time frames. So you have the daily time frame, the weekly and the monthly time frame, and these are all points of control where the price has not visited a second time, and so they're called naked because it's untapped. And so you mark them out because these are liquidity zones where the price has a probability of reacting at these areas. And then when you combine those with other technical analysis, you can create areas of confluence where you have a higher probability or higher probability of the price reacting, where you can take trades. And so just by looking at these naked points of control, you can see where the liquidity is, and obviously you see the black, and that's basically lower liquid areas. And so the price moves from liquidity to liquidity. That's how it moves, and then in between it just kind of goes really fast, and that's how you get good moves between areas of support and resistance. And so that's just one kind of thing to look at. Then the other thing you look at when you're looking at charting is you're looking at levels. And so again, it's the same thing. You're looking at untapped levels. And so you start with the daily level. Anyway, I'm about to start. It's 11:04. Welcome everyone. There's a bunch of people here already. That's amazing. I haven't streamed in 3 months or so. 3 freaking months. Can you believe it? 3 months. Where have I been? People have asked me, where the hell are you? I got so many messages. We need you. Where the fuck are you? I still have 840 subscribers, so my subscribers didn't leave. People are like waiting for me to come back. Crazy. So 4 months. Look, 4 months ago. Shit, such a long time. What did I say? I can't even remember. I was wearing a pink hat. QANX. I did QANX, huh? 3rd of March. Look, 3rd of March. That was my last stream, the 3rd of March. Can you believe it? Wow. What's next? Bullish continuation or a sneaky bear trap? Wow. What did I say? I don't even remember. There you go. Look at that. No, that wasn't it. Shit. Let me have a look. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Going back to your previous streams. If you're here, you want to say hi, say hi. I like to chat to people, and at the moment, no one's saying anything. So I kind of feel like I'm alone, and I can see that there's a bunch of people here. Well, I had it going down. Don't know. Without watching it, I have no idea what I was talking about, to be honest with you. Oh, we were looking at this this Wyckoff distribution, which played out, I think. I might have got it a little bit. There are different variations of Wyckoff. Anyway, that's kind of fun. It's always fun. So the most important thing about technical analysis is that it's entertainment. Yeah, I'm not giving any kind of financial advice. I will give financial advice. The best financial strategy for crypto is to dollar cost average over a long period of time at regular periods. That's the best strategy if you're looking to accumulate. And it's always best to stick to the top guns, the top 10, 100, whatever, just the blue chips, and kind of avoid everything else. That being said, you can make a lot of money in everything else. So naturally, there's an aspect of risk versus reward, but the best strategy is dollar cost average over a long period of time in regular periods. And the periods can either be based on time, which is better. It's called the time weighted average price, TWAP, or you can do it based on something else like hitting price targets or candles, printing red candles on a higher time frame period. So when you're looking at, like, let's say you're looking at Bitcoin, you're thinking to yourself, where's a good time to buy? Well, when you buy the red candles, and you buy the red closes, you bought every red close 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 buys. You'd have 14 buys in the last 9 or 10 months, 9 months. And where would your average be if you, as long as you bought the same amount and didn't go heavy, you'd probably, your average will be somewhere around here. Probably you still, you see, you'd be in profit. So that's the kind of the best strategy when you have no idea and you don't really want to spend time on the charts and you don't have the time, but you do want to buy, you do want to invest, you do want to accumulate. And so that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to just do it based on time. Just do it on a weekly basis, or, and it doesn't really matter, every weekly close or whatever, you'll just buy, just buying. You're just looking to accumulate over a long period of time. When you're looking at something like Bitcoin, look at it. It's just going up, isn't it? It's just going up. So the hard part is where to buy. Like if you came in last bull market and bought there, and that was it, then you basically, for a good part of all the way up to there, you're underwater, aren't you? And that's, you're feeling the pressure. But if you keep on buying, buy, you keep on buying, then you're averaging in, you're scaling into the average of an uptrend, of a higher time frame uptrend. That's honestly the safest way to do it if people are just not looking to spend time on charts. Charts are ultimately fun. Yeah, this is just entertainment. Traders, people who are looking to trade, aren't really going to be watching other people's YouTubes. They're going to have a grasp of the charts themselves. And so most of the time when you're watching YouTube, it's really geared towards people who just want to have fun, you know, just want to just watch and see and learn a little bit and understand. And they're kind of interested in the way the price is moving and the direction of the price. And it gives them a little bit of entertainment ultimately. But when you're looking to trade, I mean, I do kind of go over trading and trading plans. But when you're looking to trade, ultimately what you're looking for are areas of confluence based on technical indicators, where you have converging technical indicators converging at specific price areas and based on time as well. And that will give you a higher probability set up to take a trade. And then when you do take a trade, you need a trade plan. You need to risk a certain percentage. Usually it's about 0.5% to 1%. and then you need to have your predefined, whether it's mental or hard stop losses and take profit zones. And basically you need to have a plan before you take the trade. That's the only way to trade. It's the only way. There's no other way. There are other ways, but they incorporates aspects of gambling. And so this is kind of like, when you do it that way correctly, you have to be quite rigorous and emotionless about taking trades. So where's the next big trade? Well, that's why you do analysis, because you're looking for it. So now I just, on Bitcoin, I just kind of marked the epochs, the naked points of control. So that gives me one aspect of something that could cause the price to react. The other thing that I usually do is I will look at levels. Okay, you start with the daily time frame, and so here I'm actually explaining how it's done, so if people are interested, they're going to learn. Here I'm looking at where the price goes green, it closes, and then it goes red and it closes down. So you have that's called a daily level, and it's not touched a second time, and so that they're the ones you're interested in, and then you mark it off as a daily level. See that? So the next time the price goes up, you have a resistance level right there, because that's a liquidity level where the price has to flip from resistance to support. So you mark off these daily levels. So I'll give you so here there was actually that one. It's not a clean one because it's already been tapped on the way down. See, that's not a clean one, but there's one up there. See that? There's one up there. You've got these daily levels. These are at the moment for the price to go up. These are resistance areas, and they have to be flipped. And you see on the way down, you've got support areas. You see that? That's a support area. So you have to mark off these levels because these are liquidity areas. These are where bigger players will set their orders, their order blocks effectively. And so this is where big limit orders will be placed. There was one here, but it was tapped immediately. See that? So that's why you don't mark it off, because it was hit on the next day, the second day. The price came down, cleared the liquidity from this little area, and then the price went up. Yeah? So you don't mark that. You don't mark any of these because they've been cleared. You're only marking the ones that haven't been cleared, and that's where you're going to get a higher probability setup. So all of these have been cleared. There's like a shitty one there. I would kind of ignore it. Probably there. There's the next one, and then you've got one down here. See that? Your daily levels, and you can just keep on going down and down and down to lower prices. There's one there. There's one here as well, but I probably would I ignore that? I'll keep it. Don't really like those. I like the ones where the price reverses. I don't like the ones where the price continues, to be honest with you. I like it. I like these levels where the price comes down and then it goes up, and that's your level. That's your daily. That's your reversal. So here, these ones where you're forming mini order blocks, the price isn't really reversing, it's continuing. I don't really like those. I like it where the price is changing direction. And so is there one in? There's one there as well. See that? Anyway, here, no. All of this was cleared, that drop, and then you're going to much lower prices. Yeah? Much lower prices. Too low, to be honest with you. So we're just kind of ignore the low ones. So these are kind of your daily levels now, and then you do exactly the same thing for your weekly and your monthly. So I'm going to do that now. I can spell. I have to spell correctly too. Can I hide those? I won't hide those just yet. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Again, exactly the same thing. You're looking at weekly structure where the price goes from red to green or from green to red, where it closes cleanly. And so here you can easily see that this daily level also corresponds with a juicy. I'm going to mark it to the correct color to a weekly level. See that? See that? So you have a daily and a weekly level at the same place. That is beautiful. That's kind of, that gives you kind of a little bit of strength there actually at 101k almost. There's one here. This one that existed above us here, that was cleared, tapped, tapped, tapped. We're into resistance, by the way, but we're clearing the liquidity. There. Weekly. Okay, that's your weekly levels, basically. Arguably, you could put that one in, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't, because it's been cleared once, twice, 3 times. It's basically all the liquidity from that weekly order block has been cleared, so it doesn't really act well as resistance anymore on that time frame. Then you go to the monthly levels, and you're looking for the monthly, and you see actually we had one here, and that was we're looking, it's been, the price has just gone right through it, you know, so it's been cleared, smashed right through it, and the price has come back. It feels like it's trying to back test that monthly level. I'll leave it for a second because it's quite an important level, even though there's no liquidity there. The next liquidity is there on the monthly time frame. See that? This red to green up, and then much lower down. That's been cleared. You see that? Because the green wick has come down into the monthly level and found support and bounced off. And the next level is all the way down there, too low to be able to do. So you kind of have your levels now. This one here, I'm going to rename it to, I won't rename it. I can see that it's cleared, so I don't need to rename it. So that's your higher time frame levels. And so we're kind of painting a little bit of a picture now, aren't we? And so when you have your charts, you've got a clean chart. Let me actually get rid of this volume because it's not necessary. So you have a really nice clean chart like that. And then what you're looking for is confluence. And so you do your higher time frame levels. You've got your naked points to control, right? And what you start to see is liquidity. You start to see where the liquidity is. And hey, Dan. Yes, I'm back. Yes. Why? It's funny. It says number 1. What does that mean? I need to see what that means. It says you've got number 1. 50 XP. There must be something else. Top fan. Let's make Dtravel great again. We need Trump for that, don't we? Let's make Dtravel MDGA. MDGA. Yeah. So MPOX, you have your higher time frame levels. So you have liquidity, and the black areas are illiquid areas, and more illiquid areas. So we're trying now to paint a picture on Bitcoin. And then the other thing you do, or I would do, is I would look at volume. Volume, you use this tool here, the fixed range volume profile tool, and it's a really good tool for seeing where the volume is. And the settings, oh fuck, I've got 2.5. The settings for the row size, you can kind of just use 170. I don't know why I have it so high. You can use 170. Oh, I know why I have it higher, because I like to see exactly where it is. It doesn't really matter. It just gives you more info, so you can see exactly where the lines are. But ultimately, this has to be the default value is 70. Traders use 68 because they like to front run these levels, which is a percentage, and they do work. And so you can see now the overall value area on Bitcoin on this exchange, which is Bybit Inverse Perpetuals. And you can actually now clearly see that most of the volume is here, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Most of the volume. So it's highly unlikely the price is ever going to go back down to here. Highly unlikely. Yeah. Even though that's where the point of control is, in the sense that that's where most of the volume has been traded on Bitcoin on this exchange at $9,000 or so dollars. You can see that slowly this area is populating with volume, eventually what happens, or what could happen, is that the point of control could flip if the price in the future revisits these slightly lower prices. So that could happen. It's not happened yet. Okay, so we had a period of kind of a few months. Remember last year where the price was kind of in this kind of area, and then look, it went down, bounce, hit the value area high, back tested the whole value area. Once you got that back test, you got retrace, and then you got the move. And so these volume is quite important, but it's quite hard to use this now because right now the price is well outside of the value area. And so what you would do is you would just take the volume of the price as it entered this higher part. So basically what there's different ways of doing it. So I'll just do this to begin with. It's like from here where the candle enters here all the way to where it currently is. See that? So we have a different volume profile. It's just the volume of the price excuse me, of the price as it comes above and outside of this value area. Get rid of that. And so this is really the information I'm interested in now, just kind of this volume. It's still unhelpful, isn't it? Why? Because we're outside the value area again. We're still outside the value area. So unless the price can come back down to hit the value area high, it's kind of pointless. And we have kind of a couple of high volume nodes here. And so again, you could do the same thing. You could do exactly the same thing. You can go, okay, look at this. Maybe we do another one. Maybe we draw another one. Or you could do another way of doing it, would be just to take the up move. So this would be the up move. It'd be from something like that. That's the up move. And just taking it from here, where the price kind of closes up there, you have a kind of a similar, slightly smaller profile, and you can see clearly that the point of control of this local range is at about 105, and you've got a couple of kind of value area lows in this kind of area, and then you've got this lower one. So I'm kind of interested in these two at the moment. And then the other thing you can do is you can look at historic volume areas to see if that helps. Not really. So let's just keep an eye on this. And so what I would do is I've got those two, local range. I'd create another folder called the local range. So which range shall I use for now? We'll use just this local one. Mark it off. You've got your value area high. You've got your value area low. You've got your point of control. And then local range. Just get rid of the fixed range now. We don't need that. So you can see kind of where the price is in that local range. So it's clear to see that the price is range bound. Okay, you can see that. So now we're starting to form a little bit of a liquidity picture. And then the other thing that is really important are Fibonacci levels. Now, when you're looking at a higher time frame like this, it's like, where the hell, what do I do? What fibs do I use? You know, is the price going to come back all the way down to say here or here or here? Probably not. So we have to kind of, at the moment, we have to look at the look at it locally, and look at the current move, which is this up move, and look at the fibs there. And you have two kind of moves, haven't you? You've got this slightly higher move, and so you can see that 101.727 is your first fib. It's the 0.236. And then you've got lower fibs, the 382, the 50% is not a fib, it's just a midpoint of a horizontal channel, and then you've got the 618 or the golden pocket area, the 786, and then you've got this last one, which isn't a fib either, is it? It's the 86. It's just kind of like the last line of defense for where the price can reverse. And so you kind of have this kind of, now we're creating a picture. Now we kind of just chuck it all in and we see where the liquidity is. And so clearly you can see there's quite a lot of liquidity here, just underneath us here. And there's quite a lot of liquidity here. See that? Why? Because here you've got a daily level, you've got a point of control of this local range, and you've got a naked monthly point of control. You've got 3 areas of confluence right there. See that? And if you do a local fib retracement, you're also on the 386, the local 386. You see that? That's your local 386. That's a really good area for a trade, actually. It would start off as a scalp, yeah, and you'll probably get a really nice reaction there, probably. And so this is how you trade. This is how traders trade. They create, they have an idea of areas of confluence. Here you can see there's a bit of confluence here because you've got this naked monthly. Traders would try and take it at the lowest level here, the naked monthly point of control. That's what they would try and do. They try and, I don't know how this is going to play out. I have no idea because I've only just looked at the charts today. But let's just say for the sake of our argument that it goes down. Where would you take the trade? Probably on a swing failure of this low would be your entry point, probably. And then you'd be looking for kind of a ping reaction like that. You'd be looking for a reaction, yeah. So once you get the reaction, you take the trade. So reaction would be a swing failure. Here would be you could take a swing failure, and you just, it's kind of like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, but you have a higher probability chance of the trade working. You'd have you'd calculate your risk to reward, and your entry would be a swing failure like that. You wait for the reaction. The reaction would be a swing failure with a little bit of volume, and then probably back up to that fib, probably. I don't know how it's, depending on how it moves, but let's just say for the sake of that's your trigger, swing failure, bounce, maybe up to there like that. It'd be like that, wouldn't it? So it would look like on a higher time, or medium to higher time frame candle, it would look like the daily level held as support, but you'd get a lot of panic selling because people would be thinking, oh my god, this is going down, sell, 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 not realizing that actually they're coming into a naked monthly point of control. You're going to get a swing failure, which is in a liquidity grab, and actually you're coming into this point of control area and a daily level at the same time. You're in a kind of a confluence area, but you kind of want to try and hit the lowest level, that with a trigger point, which would be a swing failure. And then in a context like this, depending on where a pivot is put in, you'd be looking for a take profit. Let's just say the pivot came here. Yeah, maybe the first take profit would be like the 386, the 382, something like that. You know, maybe you would just aim for the first kind of area of resistance type thing, you know, because it could just do that. You're looking for the bounce, aren't you? Looking for the bounce. That's a trade. And so you take the trade on the swing failure, then you have a clean invalidation because you have your swing failure, and you wouldn't enter without the swing failure. You wait for the swing failure. That's your reaction. You take the trade, you long, have a stop loss 1% or 0.5%, whatever, and then you're looking for, in this type of trade, you're looking for risk 1, and you could get like 3.7 for the first take profit. It's basically trading. That's it. Yeah. Now, no one really knows what's going to happen. This is really important to kind of, as a mindset, that you have to establish in your mind. No one has a clue. I don't have a clue. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'll never tell you I know. I have ideas, but I have no idea. I shall keep that because, you know, it'd be good to look at it maybe tomorrow if it happens. Now, am I going to trade this right now? No, because I've just come back and I'm just kind of looking at the charts for the first time. But it helps you to see why trade, why the price moves, because you have these areas of confluence. I think this lower area is better, actually, just looking at it. I don't see why we don't go down lower, to be honest with you, just looking at it. I don't see why we don't kind of bounce and then kind of go down again. And it's going to look really bearish because it's going to look like a head and shoulders pattern, isn't it? And then you'll get the kind of little breakdown. People are going to be like, shit, sell, 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 sell. But actually then you're coming to some really good levels. You're coming to this value area low, you come to a monthly level, naked daily point of control, and then lower down you've got a weekly and a daily level. And so you're coming to really good levels here to take a long, better to take a long lower down, isn't it? And so probably do a fib there. You've also got the golden pocket here, and then lower down you've got the 786. So you've got some really nice confluence in two areas here, one there and one slightly lower there. And effectively what you're looking for is the reaction, because the price can just go like that. There's no reaction, you don't take the trade. If you get a reaction, like bam, react, then you have an invalidation, and then again it's the same idea. You can take the trade, risk your 0.5%, 1%. In this context, you look to take it to the first resistance level, which would be the point of control. That would be your first take profit. You'd be looking at like a 1, depending on where your stop is, 1 to 3. Again, another 1 to 3 trade right there. But you know, with this kind of trade, that could be the reaction that takes the price to the all-time high and even higher. You know, like that's why these are good areas to trade, because you're coming into a really strong area of confluence, golden pocket, lots of levels at the same place, confluence. You just need the reaction. You get the reaction, you can just long set your stop loss, see what happens, and then maybe on this kind of, you're doing some kind of inverse head and shoulders like that. So you're just putting a higher low here, and so you got like potentially 2 longs. This is more of a scalp, I think. You could potentially short as well on the back test of this kind of little breakdown, mini breakdown, and then this is going to scare the heebie-jeebies out of people, because they're going to see this head and shoulders pattern, and then here you've got the real trade, the real long. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing right now on the charts. Let me just add that to another. And so the other thing you would do is you'd set alerts, and you wouldn't look at it until you hit the alert, and then when you hit the alert, you're looking for the reaction. That's basically Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin's looking quite healthy. It's looking quite strong. It's not looking weak. Yeah, even though we're in to resistance, and that's probably why a lot of the altcoins are pulling back a little bit, because we are into resistance. When I was looking at my channels, let me find them. So not that one. There. We've got these horizontal channels, and you see we're kind of underneath resistance. Potentially you could argue that we're consolidating underneath resistance, which is bullish. That's bullish. Consolidation underneath resistance is bullish. So as long The longer we stay here, the more bullish this becomes. Ultimately, what you don't want is you don't want to kind of go above, reject, and fall back under. That would look bearish, wouldn't it? Because you're kind of breaking out to the upside and you're falling back underneath this horizontal channel, back into the channel. It's quite bearish. It's kind of like this. You see how it kind of broke up and then it fell back down and then it became bearish and it dropped. You kind of don't want to see that. But at the moment it's looking quite bullish because it looks like the price is consolidating underneath a really important area, which is the all-time high. Yeah. I don't think it's bearish at all. Right now it looks really bullish. Doesn't mean you can't drop. And so it's really important to realize that just because it looks bullish doesn't mean the price can't drop. And then you're looking for kind of those two areas of interest. And actually probably this one is the best one for a reaction at around just anywhere like $101,000. That would be nicer if it dropped down to 101 and then maybe even slightly lower. There's no easy entry here. So you're just looking for the reaction of these levels in the first instance to take the trade, and then hopefully the reaction is going to be strong, and then you'll be looking to kind of take profit in the first resistance, which would be the wherever that point of control is there, that point of control. As long as you lose it, And so the other thing to bear in mind is, what if we don't lose the point of control? Yeah. And that's the thing. It's always possible. It's always possible we don't lose the point of control. The price just takes the liquidity here, bounces and kind of bounces and pings just by finding support off the point of control. And so everyone is feeling bearish because they're seeing this kind of inverse this head and shoulders pattern, but the price actually, all it does is just testing the point of control for the push up from here. And so that's why you're looking for the reaction. The reaction is really important. Okay, so that's kind of Bitcoin. I'm going to go into more depth on Bitcoin in my next streams, you know, when I can kind of really spend time and analyze and kind of just look at the higher time frame candles, because I like to look at candles. I'm just looking at this candle now, this 3 monthly. Not great, this 3 monthly candle, to be honest with you. I don't like it at all. Yeah. Why? Because of the way it closed. It closed within the previous 3 month candle. Like that. For me, that's quite a bearish close. And we've taken the all-time high, the liquidity all-time high. So for me, that's actually quite a bearish place to be. Yeah. The next 3 months are important. So we'd have to see what happens in the next 3 months. But for me, that's quite bearish, actually. Just looking at that candle. It's a 3 monthly candle. And the 6 monthly candle potentially is bearish too. Potentially is bearish. Doesn't mean the price can't continue going up. But you have to see where you see how it closed underneath in the previous candle. Now the price is trying to go up. You could get into a situation where the price goes up, rejects and falls right back down, and then this whole thing is going to look really bearish. But it is a green candle, so the price is still closing higher. So we had a higher close. And the 12 month candle doesn't look bad at all, doesn't it? It looks like it's come down. It looks like it's kind of, there's some kind of back test here. And now the price is working its way up. Wow, look at that 6 monthly candles. Green, 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 green. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Look, we haven't had that, huh? We haven't had 5 green 6 monthly candles. What's the volume like? Pretty steady. Little back test there on that previous all-time high. There. It's not bad. It's not bad actually, even though the 6 monthly is not to my liking. It could be good. It's the 3 monthly that's really problematic for me. So I'd like to see how the 3 monthly plays out, because as long as the 3 monthly doesn't close kind of lower than here, which is 74k, as long as it doesn't close lower than there, then the next 3 months and then the next 3 months could be a really nice strong push up So I don't know what this next 3 months is going to be. Could it be red? Yeah, it could be. Could it be like a green hammer or something? Yeah, it could be. Is it likely to just go up? Don't think so. Not 100%. Don't think so. More likely to go down just because of the context of where we are. But then if you end up with a red, then you could end up with a nice push-up green like that in the next 3 months. It's possible. And that will take you to higher prices. Yeah, that weekly candle closed. So the weekly kind of, it's not looking amazing, is it? This week it's just been a red doji, just underneath all-time highs. While I said consolidation underneath resistance is bullish, it's not looking crazy strong at the moment. That's a bearish engulfing red candle here, which is bearish. It's a bearish candle. And look, you see what I was saying? You see how that green candle closed lower than the previous candle high, and then the next candle was a bearish engulfing. So to be honest with you, for me, this is looking quite bearish right now. At the moment, it's looking quite bearish. But it doesn't mean this whole thing can't play out to become bullish. It's just at the moment, it's looking a little bit bearish. So I've got these kind of trade ideas for lower. And I think traders will be looking to like take their profits now and then, or whatever. They've already taken their profits and then they're looking for setups lower. Could you short? You could, but you'd have to kind of have a trade plan. And where's your validation? It's really important to know where your validation is, because the price, if you put your validation here, the price could easily go up, take your stop and drop. So, and that ideally what you want is you're looking for an entry. In this context, a simple local swing failure would be a really good entry. That's basically what I'd be looking at. A swing failure, a local swing failure. I wouldn't expect it to shoot up and continue. I'd expect it to be more like what I'm seeing right now, which is some kind of flag. Yeah, and then your entry is a swing failure, and then you have a invalidation, and then you're looking for, you know, something like an entry on the swing failure, something like that. Then you're looking for a little measured move. It's a pretty good trade. Huh? That's a pretty good trade too, potentially. But you have to wait for the reaction. You can't just short thinking it's going to go down. You start, if it reacts and you see the price swing failure and it starts to go down, you have an invalidation. You could take the short then. You can take the short on the swing failure in the context of what I was saying, that maybe this has a little downside before we get to lower prices where we have a chance for upside. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now on Bitcoin. That's probably why altcoins are struggling, probably. Wow, I didn't realize how much energy streaming takes. I've been doing it now for 45 minutes, 44 minutes or whatever. Wow, just it's exhausting, huh? Shit. And I've been like, I've got a lot of energy, you know, I've got a lot of energy because I've been surfing in El Salvador for 3 months. But wow, streaming takes a lot of energy. Didn't realize. So I think that's Bitcoin. Are there any questions? I don't know if anyone's got any questions or not, but if you do, feel free to shoot your questions in the chat. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And the reason why is because I need to go to the loo. I need to go and get a drink. I need to kind of reclaim my zen. 5-minute break, and then I'll look at probably QANX and TRVL, and then ETH and SUI. Right, so we're going to take a little 5-minute break. We're going to have a look at those other charts. All right, go and get a cigarette or a coffee or whatever, toilet. I'm aiming to finish the stream by 12, so I'm aiming to finish the stream in 1 hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes. All right, so I'm trying to maximize. I'm trying to limit my streams to 2 hours. So because I want to, because I've been taking. I remember I was doing like 8-hour streams, a bit too long, just to make it a little bit more regular. I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. I made a little slice of toast for myself from Marmite because I need the Marmite power. If anyone doesn't eat Marmite, then you should. Acquired taste. Very nice. Yummy, yummy. So if you haven't already done so, I'd appreciate if you could like my YouTube and that helps with algorithms. And I'm back in my Discord. I'm not commentating so much at the moment, but I may, you know, like I'm kind of, this is my first day back. I'll certainly post the streams in there. What I'm trying to do with the streams is I'm trying to plan it in advance. I'm going to try and do it in the mornings, not in the afternoons or the evenings. I'm trying to do it in the mornings at a regular time. So right now I'm thinking to myself 11 a.m. If I can, I'll try and do it 11 a.m. Whether I do it every day or not, I have no idea. I will try and start doing it every day. I'm just very conscious because when I was doing it before, it took a lot of energy to do every day. I'm not getting paid. It's just a hobby, really. It's for fun. I am trying to build my YouTube channel, so I realize that I have to do more and more streaming. So let's quickly have a look at TRVL, huh? Actually, I did want to talk about more about TRVL, so maybe I'll do QANX first, or TRVL, QANX. There aren't many people here for QANX. Dan is here for TRVL, so I should just do Dan. If I had more people here saying, yeah, QANX, then maybe I'll do QANX first, but Dan, this is for us. Now, if anyone doesn't know what TRVL is, then I'm going to show you. This is the chart. It looks terrible, huh? It's like the chart from hell. The TRVL chart from hell. This is the combined chart. I'm using 4 exchanges here. This is the MEXC. I'll use the MEXC chart for today. I'll just hide this stuff. I've got some previous analysis. This is literally the chart from hell. So why am I interested in the chart from hell? Everyone asks me. Why am I wearing a Dtravel cap? Why am I carrying a Dtravel shirt? Why am I promoting Dtravel? Do they pay me? Nope. I wish they did. I'd be doing more of this if they did. Let me just finish my toast and then I'm going to start talking about Dtravel. I've got some things to say. And so maybe a lot of people have been following what's happening. Maybe some people haven't. Maybe some people sold because they panicked. Maybe some people didn't sell and they're kind of underwater and they're thinking, what should I do? Is this going to zero? Sina, welcome. Nice to see you too. Let me just finish my mouthful and then I can start. I haven't done QANX yet, so you can wait for that. All right, perfect. Neo crypto and food and travel. Nice to see you. Top fan number 2. How's it going? Yes, it's going well. I've just been to El Salvador. I just got back from El Salvador. I was there for just under 3 months and I was learning to surf. Actually, I have pictures I should show you, but I can't. I don't want to get distracted with what I'm focused here for today, which is charting. Let me just carry on. But I'm happy to chat. It's good to chat. I like to chat. So why Dtravel? Look at the chart. This looks like shit. Suresh Kumar, you back? Hey mate. Wow, people are back. Nice to see you guys. Old faces. Old faces. You're back to see my old face. My ugly mug. Yeah. I was surfing. I learned how to surf. Can you believe it? I'll show you one picture. Just because everyone's like curious. Where to trade now? Good questions, my friend. I'll show you one picture of me surfing, or maybe even a video. Let me find it here on my other screen before I pull it across. Honestly, I went to El Salvador. I started learning to surf for the first time. I was a complete and utter beginner. And I'm just going to get the video. If it downloads, and I'm going to pull it across. And obviously I'm going to show you guys. Oh, it's quite noisy. I'm going to pull this screen across. See that? That's me. Trying to look cool, but really have no idea what I'm doing. I spent 3 months in El Salvador trying to surf, trying to learn how to surf. How fun was that? So I lost a little bit of weight, got a little bit of a tan, you know. Was kind of depressed because of Dtravel. Suresh is asking, BTC up or down? I've had a look at BTC already, actually. So if you go back to if I quickly go back to BTC, just to kind of a little recap. Oh, Dan was in Portugal. It's cold in Portugal, you know. You got to cut a good figure on a board for a beginner. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Yeah. I guess you could argue that I'm intermediate now, but just to recap, we're at all-time highs, you know. We're just underneath the all-time high. I would argue that this is bullish consolidation, but possibly we're just going to go down to go up. That makes more sense. It makes more. It's not, I mean, the price isn't just going to go up, is it? It's possibly going to go down first, get people bearish to go up. Yeah. Question is, how far down does it go? Is it going to go down all the way to here? It never does it? It's not just going to do that. It would have to kind of do that like that. It would have to, you know, have to go down in waves. You have to see how it goes down. But, you know, like there are some levels here where the price could easily find support just close by, you know, like there or there, like a scalp there, maybe more of a stronger area here at about 101k. That's kind of my area, about 101. But you know, the price of Bitcoin, it always overshoots, doesn't it? It always overshoots. So you say 100 or 101 and the price goes down to 99. Are you wrong? No, you're not wrong. It's just that it's harder to trade, isn't it? So what you are looking for is a reaction. You're looking for a reaction in your area of interest. The area of interest is based on Confluence. The Confluence is based on lines of liquidity where it kind of converges. At the moment, I think about 101 is a good area. But you know, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin can do a lot of crazy shit, and it could easily push down to lower. And if it does, and I'll show you what I mean. If Bitcoin is doing crazy shit, and it does kind of bounce and then go down and then fuck a duck, it just wants to go lower. Would you long? No. You'd have to wait for strength then. So you don't long weakness. It's looking weak. You can't long that. You could long it if you saw strength off a reaction in your area of interest, you know, like either here or here. But if you start losing levels, that's weakness. You can't long weakness. Yeah. You can only long strength or swing failures. Yeah. So in the context here, you have a really nice swing failure scalp. So you could long a swing failure for a scalp. You never know. The scalp could end up being a really nice fuck me go to the moon long. Yeah. Who knows? So you'd long, if you have a trade plan and you get a reaction off a swing failure, you could long that. But here, you get a reaction, you could long it because you have an invalidation. But if you don't get the reaction, or if the reaction is weak, you can't long. You have to wait for strength. What is strength? Well, it's to reclaim the area that you lost. You'd have to go back up, reclaim it, find support. Then you can long it. Yeah. So you're longing strength, or you're longing a reaction into your area of interest, or a swing failure. But if you're losing your area of interest, if you're not showing enough a reaction, the reaction isn't strong enough, or you're losing it, you can't long. You can't long hoping that the price is just going to get back up. You have to wait for the price to get back up, wait for the price to come back and test. Once you get a nice test, you have a tight invalidation off a back test, of a reclaimed area of interest, of a reclaimed area, then you can long. Does that make sense? So you're longing strength, you're longing a good reaction off your area of interest. But if you're not getting a reaction off your area of interest, if it's not strong enough, better not to take trades, better to wait and see what happens. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, and it's always the same. It's never not this. It's never different. It's not like, oh my god, this is different. This trade is the special trade which tries to fuck everyone. It's always the same. Yeah. You're looking for signs of strength, for longing, and for shorting, and for signs of weakness. Honestly, I'm seeing weakness. I'm seeing weakness right now. For me, this is looking quite weak. I can see the weakness because I'm also looking at exo charts, which is the order flow, and I'm seeing bearish divergences here on the order flow. I'm also seeing that. Okay, now this is another kind of education. Specifically here, look at this fucking long, look at that market long, and look, you see how the CVD went up, market buying, look at that. How much was that? 13 million. And look, the price hardly moved, didn't even move. So you have this market buy, this 13 million market buy, the price didn't move. That's weakness. Yeah, that's bearish divergence. It's showing that the buying is being absorbed by sellers, by limit sellers. They're absorbing the buying, and so you have to be really careful longing now, because that's really bearish. You see that? It's the CVD's gone up and it's made a higher high here, but the price hasn't. The price is actually making lower highs. You see that? The price is making lower highs, the CVD is making higher highs. This is bearish. This is bearish order flow. So when you start seeing bearish order flow, you can't long. You start thinking about, okay, maybe I should short. Okay. And then when it comes to shorting, you need an invalidation, or you need an entry. I mean, possibly a good entry. You might not get it. That's the problem. Would be a local swing failure here, which is what I was kind of talking about earlier. Little bearish flag here. If you're going to get a little pump up, take that local high and then a little local swing failure down. That'll be a really nice short. Otherwise, the problem of shorting here and now without a clean entry like that is that your invalidation is too wide. So you have too wide, you can get stopped out. That's the problem. And then where do you put your stop? It's really important. Then you have to have a really wide stop. Then you wouldn't be able to take profit because you're not making enough money because your stop is too wide. So you're stuck in you might be in profit, but you might not be able to take profit. You'll be stuck in a trade. Then you're aiming then for much lower, and you just have to be patient. And so in this context, it could work with a wide stop above there. And because if you're bearish, you're not expecting the price to take the high there. Higher highs is bullish, but right now you're seeing bearish divergences. You're looking for, you kind of want a tighter stop. So ideally what you really want to see, if possible, and you might not get it, so that's why trading is a game of patience. You're looking for, like, if you can take that all the way down to there, but the first level of support is the point of control, obviously, so that's your first take profit. So that would be this is your first take profit trade off a local swing failure. You risk half or 1% or whatever, and then you can make a 1 to 5 on your first take profit just on that trade. If you can get this kind of reaction, swing failure off that local high, little bearish flag. So you're planning this, aren't you? You're making a little trade plan, setting an alert, calculating your risk based on your portfolio. If you get the correct reaction in the correct circumstances, which is based on bearish order flow, which I'm seeing right now, you take the trade. If you don't get the trade, you don't get the trade. It's just life. You just have to wait for the next trade. Yeah, if it comes, you have an amazing trade. You have an amazing trade with a relatively high probability, and you could probably make your money quite quickly. And that's the kind of trade that traders are looking for. Otherwise, they just wait for the next trade. You short the short setup, and you're looking to long the long setup. It's another, in this context, it's a little scalp, isn't it? Down here, another swing failure, little scalp of that. Again, back into the first level of resistance, little scalp. Wait for the setup to short, wait for the setup to long. But I think probably heading down, probably. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just because of the context of where we are, we're underneath higher all-time highs. We're seeing some bearish CVD. I wouldn't long this. I'd be thinking to short. Yeah, that's what we think. That's probably why the altcoins are kind of bleeding a little bit. Here, sorry, I wasn't showing you the right page. Here. If that happens again, just make sure you tell me. Here, sorry. This is the right page. That little local swing failure, little bearish flag here. If it comes, you take the short with the right reaction, and you take it down to the point of control, which is down here. You get like a 1 to 5 on that trade on your first TP. Then you're looking for a scalp long off a swing failure there. Then you're looking to take it further down to actually where I'm more interested in for a long, which is down here. Golden pocket value area low, and then you've got some kind of a monthly level there and some naked point of control. You've got a lot of confluence down here at about 101, 102k, thereabouts. Again, you're waiting for the reaction, right? So that's kind of a little recap on Bitcoin. So I want to talk about Dtravel. So this is really important for me, because I think a lot of people have been following me and they're like, shit, he left and now he's back. What happened? Okay, I'm not here to talk about the past so much, except that I was right. And so I'll kind of give you a very brief summary. Effectively, what happened was that about 1.5 years ago, I suggested a proposal for some changes. Those changes were not made. They were not implemented the way I suggested. And the changes that were made was not accepted is not the right word, but it didn't seduce the market. Does that make sense? The market didn't respond in the way that crypto, that Dtravel needed it to respond. And so you ended up with a situation where we ended up with a chart with lower highs. Effectively, what was happening is that people were excited, they were buying, but then they were selling. They were buying and then they were selling. And this last time here, again, it's buying and then selling. And then this last time, it was just like no one bought. Do you see that? No one bought. And so effectively, you lost the floor. You lost the all-time low, which was at just a shade underneath 2 cents. The minute you lose your all-time low in such a dramatic fashion, in such a dramatic sell-off, the price collapsed. Yeah, because this is all panic. Okay, that's effectively what the charts are telling us. It's a pretty depressing chart, but not necessarily, and I'm going to explain why for many reasons. But let me just go to the fundamentals of Dtravel. And a lot of people like, what is Dtravel? I don't know what Dtravel is. Dtravel is a peer-to-peer on-chain, dare I say it, Airbnb. Yeah, so it's meant to be a decentralized Airbnb where operators or hosts, you can interchange that word, operator host, can rent their property out to travelers directly, and the transactions are processed and controlled by the blockchain. And you can pay in crypto or you can pay using fiat. That's effectively what Dtravel is, decentralized travel or direct travel. And what you have is a growing physical network. And I'll show you the stats. This is the network. At the moment, we have a number of listings. We're at 5,000 listings worldwide now. So we started at 0. I think a lot of people don't realize that I was probably one of the first handful, like in the first 10 listings, my properties. Yeah. And so my properties, I've been with Dtravel now for 4 years. Can you believe it? My properties have been on Dtravel 4 years. This is my website. That's me, my brother. And these are my properties on Dtravel. And you can just go there and you can book my apartments in London, and you can pay using credit card or fiat or crypto. And there's no intermediary. There's no Airbnb or booking.com taking their big chunk of slice of fees. And then you're dealing directly with me. Okay, so you're not dealing with anyone else. And the great thing about Dtravel is that it's insured. So both the host side and the guest side are insured by a third-party insurance company. That's included. So it's kind of, the insurance package is actually better than Airbnb as well. So this is my Airbnb profile. So if people want to see my Airbnb profile, they'll see that I have a reputation on Airbnb. I have 180 reviews. I'm a 4.99 star Airbnb superhost. I've been doing it, according to this, 9 years. It's actually longer. And I have a lot of experience and a good reputation on Airbnb. And so here I am working with Dtravel. Why? Well, partly because I believe in decentralized, the future of decentralized businesses and applications. Also, I think these centralized companies take a shit ton of money, and that money could be passed on to the travelers. But also I see a future value in these token economies, these decentralized token economies, and they can perform functions which a business or company, centralized business like Airbnb, cannot do. But we're not there yet. And so this is kind of what I've been pushing for behind the scenes. And it's based on their own token, their own kind of currency, so to speak. And so Dtravel has been, so I've been with them for 4 years. And if you don't know, I've completed 34 direct bookings on my properties and a shade under $65,000 in realized earnings in Dtravel. So this is a legitimate business. This is no joke. There's no joke here. This is real. This is real value that's being transacted. I pay taxes on these. I self-declare here in the UK. So it's all legit. None of it is dodgy dealings. Yeah. Most of it is in fiat, portion of it is in crypto, but mostly it's in fiat. But I think this is pretty amazing, isn't it? Because when you go back to these stats and you look at the stats now, we're in 1,175 cities, we're in 135 countries, we have 10,000 operator plus operator signups, and we got 5,000 listings. We have a cumulative earnings across the board of 1.28 million, and then here the average booking value is $828. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty amazing. So there's growth here. We haven't yet seen the exponential explosion, and this is why this is a great opportunity to get involved. Yeah, because this is really, I feel that this is still the beginning. So why is the token collapsed? Why has the token price collapsed? Well, there are many reasons, and I think undoubtedly one of the big reasons behind this price chart is Bitcoin. You can't deny that. Yeah, there is a really strong correlation between altcoins and ETH, and ETH has totally underperformed this bull market, hasn't it? It's been a complete abysmal failure, hasn't it? ETH has been terrible. Look at ETH. Bitcoin is at all-time highs, and ETH is basically struggling, and it went down all the way down to $1,300. Yeah, ETH. The altcoins follow ETH, and ETH has been really poor for other reasons belonging to ETH, and also reasons belonging to Bitcoin because of the adoption, the wide adoption of Bitcoin and the ETFs and BlackRock and all the other stuff that's going on, and other countries building their strategic reserves, and America and Trump and all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot of factors kind of coming together, and also we've still been seeing quantitative tightening and not quantitative easing, and so you have these kind of financial things that are coming to play. So a lot in the wars as well. Don't forget the wars, you know, Russia, Ukraine, the war in the Middle East, and then obviously the latest war, which is Israel, Iran. A lot of uncertainty across the world, which is having a negative impact on risk on. Bitcoin is risk on, but Bitcoin is risk on, then TRVL is ultra risk. It's like uber risk on, yeah, isn't it? So that's having an impact. But ultimately, what is the chart saying to us? This is really important. The chart is showing me that people aren't interested in buying, and whenever the price moves up because of the rest of the market is pumping, people make their quick gains and then they sell, whether it's here, making quick gains and selling here and here. You see that? And even here, little quick gains and sell. See that? So you end up with a really abysmal looking chart with lower highs. So people aren't even waiting to go higher. They're not hodling for higher. They're looking to sell into their gains, and then maybe or maybe not they'll reaccumulate depending on the price action. This last round when the price dropped, it was an abysmal sell-off, wasn't it? It was a crazy sell-off, and unfortunately for TRVL, we lost the all-time low. We lost that floor that we were creating, a little bit of a nice structural here. It could have gone only the other way around. It could have been more, it could have been like this. And it wasn't. It was something else, right? Actually, I was thinking possibly a quadruple bottom, but actually I changed my mind quite quickly. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see the volume. The volume wasn't supporting my ideas. And so I could see the drop. It was increased. Look at, see how when it dropped. This is on MEXC, increasing volume, decreasing prices. That's really bearish. Yeah, you can't do anything with that. You can just say people are just selling. They're just selling and they're not interested. I think a large portion of what happened was that got everything to do with the project and the way the project was unable to catch the mood of the market, the vibe of the market, crypto specifically. I think Dtravel has done really amazing job with the physical network. Yeah, and I'm bearing witness and testimony to the physical network. How you can just go now and you can go to Dubai and you can go to direct bookings and you can find them on Airbnb, but actually you could probably contact the host and get it cheaper, and you can pay by crypto or pay directly basically. And so you're getting the same property. See, look, this is on Airbnb, but you could probably get this property cheaper just by booking directly. It's no skin off the owner's nose. They're just getting the same money, but here what's happening is that the guests are getting better prices. And so there is a business use case to using Dtravel and using the Traveler app, which was launched last year, which is this, it's kind of like you can just go around the world and see what's going on. There should be an AI aspect. I don't know where it is actually. I think, has that been removed? It is possible that the AI has been removed. Let me check. Yeah, so there is an AI plugin that was developed. I think that's been temporarily removed, but that's probably going to be brought back in the future. And so there's a lot of things being developed, and then if people aren't familiar with the back end, there's a lot of things being developed on the back end too. I only discovered recently, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, Eric was showing me what was he showing me? He was showing me something. Where is it? Personal info, no. Booking site, is it that one? Brand's name, logo, site domain. There it is. Use our AI tool to generate a unique landing page design for your site. So I can go in there, I can use an AI assistant here to create a vibe. Make my site lighter with a traditional vibe from the, I don't know, I'm just making this shit up, 1800s. Let's see what it gives me. I know the AI will actually give me a new theme. See that? So it's like creating a new theme just based on something. So it's quite interesting. So you can actually go in there, use AI to customize your theme, and then you can publish the changes. And so there's some things they're working on, a lot of like kind of cute things, but ultimately that doesn't reflect on TRVL. Yeah, so the product is amazing, it's growing and it's building, they're building it, but I'm just like, we're here to talk about the token. So what's happening with Dtravel? Well, I can tell you something. I left Dtravel in the end of February, and I'm back. That's basically what's happened. The reason why I'm back is because there's some significant changes coming to Dtravel. Some big changes are coming to Dtravel. That's the biggest news for everyone. And the changes are so significant that I'm literally giving you a really good entry because I'm coming to you now before everyone, telling you there's some big changes coming. Yeah, I'm back involved, and look where the price is. You're getting at rock bottom prices. Yeah, I'm not asking you to pump my bags. If, as always, you have to use correct risk management, dollar cost average over a longer period of time, you know, and you know, you incorporate that into your portfolio as a strategy. But there's some big changes coming, and the changes are so significant that I'm here streaming again and talking about the changes. And part of the changes are going to be leadership. That's going to be really significant because that will change the direction of the strategy, of the community, and the responsiveness to the community. And then the other big change that's coming is that Dtravel is actually finally becoming a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. So token holders will be in charge of Dtravel. Dtravel is finally becoming what it was meant to be from the beginning. Yeah, a DAO, a decentralized DAO based on a decentralized real world network. Okay, and so these are some two big changes that I'm kind of pre-announcing, and then there's a lot more changes coming. So down the line, they're talking about significant tokenomic changes, which is going to bring real value to TRVL. plus rewards, plus lots of other things. And then once it does become a DAO, then the community is going to have a big say in how the DAO is run and governed. There's some other big changes, like the corporation. The incorporation's been moved to the US, so we're going to benefit from the American crypto policies, which benefit American companies. You know, there's lots of things happening which is going to benefit us. That's going to help us with Coinbase listings in the future. I've been talking about that for a long time, but now I'm actually seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, whereas before it was kind of like maybe, now it's kind of like more probable than before. And the other thing that's happened is that a lot of the token has been locked up. So if you go into the token, I'm not sure if this is reflecting the lockup, but a large portion of the token has been, yes, this is the old kind of stuff. I think Dtravel made an announcement on their X profile 2 months ago about the token lockup. I'm not going to go back and find it now, but it's there if you want to go there and have a look. I think a whole bunch of their token was locked up, so it's not going to come into circulation. It's a lot of big changes, but the main one for me specifically is the leadership change and the DAO. And we haven't seen that reflected in the price because no one knows. So I'm here to tell people that these are some big changes, and I am actually back involved because these are what I wanted. These are some of the changes that I was asking for back when the price was here, because I was hoping that we could kind of defend the lows here. But just from a technical perspective, let me just give you some hope. Yeah, people are always looking for a little bit of hopium. I'll give you a little bit of hopium right now. Okay, so on TRVL, bizarrely, TRVL flows very nicely with fib time. Yeah, and I don't know if people remember, but in Telegram I say we'd bottom out in April. Yeah, and I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to find it right now. I left the Dtravel chat for a long time, but let me find out. Let me find my conversation. We had lots of arguments, by the way. Look, read this. I posted this February the 17th. We had a lot of arguments in February. Oh shit, you can't see it. Let me go to the Telegram. But here I am arguing, saying, obviously, forget about the argument because water on the bridge. But here, and we'll bottom on the 3rd week of April. Okay, see that? We'll bottom on the 3rd week of April. I posted that on February the 17th. Okay, and this is in the Dtravel channel on Telegram, right? I'm not here to blow my own trumpet. I really am not. But look where we bottomed the 3rd week of April. See that? Now, I'm not saying that we've bottomed out completely, but look at that. How amazing is that? How amazing is fib time? How amazing is fib time? I just did it based off fib time. I knew exactly when this token would bottom out. How amazing is that? Just based on really simple fib time analysis. Once you understand fib time, you can predict the future in a very uncanny way. Not always, but a lot of the time. So I think this fib time has been really accurate, and therefore I don't see why we don't just follow it as a guide for the future, because until it breaks, we can just follow this as a guide. Like, it's more important than anything right now, isn't it? And so I feel like we're bottoming out here structurally, even though we've kind of put in a big pivot here on fib time. Yeah, and what's amazing about this pivot, which I predicted mid-February, is that the price of TRVL went up 118% just based on that one prediction. How amazing is that? Obviously, it's lost all its gains. That's fine. That doesn't matter, because guess what? We're coming into another fib time pivot. And this next fib time pivot is the week of the 21st of July. That is in about 2 weeks' time. Now, fib time is an area of time. It's not an exact second or day of time. What does that mean? It means that it could happen before, it can happen after. No one really knows what's going to happen. But I am imagining that we bottom out here. just based on these fib times. Now, we've clearly reacted off fib time here in a very nice way. And just looking at the structure, I just want to show you something. Now, I don't know if we put in another all-time low here. This is our all-time low at the moment. I hope we don't. I hope there's enough people out there who watching my videos going to start market buying, yeah, or putting limit orders, yeah, because I really feel that Dtravel TRVL doesn't deserve another all-time low, especially with the changes that have happened and are happening right now. I really feel that Dtravel TRVL doesn't deserve another all-time low. I really hope that we can just kind of hold for a higher low here. I really hope that. That being said, structurally what's happened is we're on the weekly time frame. We've put in a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a higher high. See that? It's a higher high on a weekly time frame. As long as here we don't take the all-time low here, as long as we can hold for a high, I hope we can. Honestly, I really hope we can. I don't know. I hope there's enough people out there who are willing to buy some TRVL and hold this price up. I hope there are. Okay, but no one can make that happen. We can hold a higher low here and take out that high. Then we have a weekly market structure change. Now we're on edge right now, because if that doesn't happen, then what will happen is we will put in another low here, but it will be on pivot, so that's good. It'll probably be a swing failure of that low, similar to this one here. See that? Similar to that, but on a kind of a tighter scale. And then I probably think we'll be looking at something somewhat similar to this, where the price can now finally kind of go up, go up, go up, go up, all the way to the end of December. That's the next time pivot that I'm looking at after this next one that's coming up in July. This is really what I'm focused on. Now, we have some kind of difficulties in the way in terms of the technical analysis. And we have what you're looking at right now is a breakdown of this kind of structure. And effectively what we need is we need to put in a low here, hopefully a higher low, put in a higher high. That's a market structure change. Then we can get back into that range, and that's really what I would like. I'd like us to get back above 2 cents. Then we have a chance at pushing up all the way up by the end of December, as high as we can go. I think we're going to see resistance somewhere around 3 cents, but you know, crypto is mental, isn't it? When it pumps, it pumps. And so possibly another lower high here, but that would be great. Why? Because it will give people, it'll untrap all of this liquidity. There's a lot of trapped liquidity here. What does that mean? That means there's a lot of people underwater and they're looking to exit. Yeah. And so when the price comes back, that will be their opportunity to sell and to exit at break even, or a moderate profit, or maybe people are starting to buy in and they're going to bring down their average here, which will be great. And then what happens is, if you put in a lower high, what we need to do structurally is to hold this range. If we do that, then we have a chance to go up. If you just go up in one go and you just put in a higher high there, that would be a V-shaped recovery. Then you'll be looking at a 50 fib retrace. It all depends how far we go. And it all depends on whether people hodl or sell in the higher part of the range. No one knows what's going to happen. No one can predict that. But what I can tell you is that we have a major time pivot on the 21st, week of the 21st of July. We have a major time pivot at the kind of mid-December. Yeah. That's basically really what I wanted to say about TRV. I mean, I can go into technical, but really for me, this fib time is absolutely key. It's absolutely crucial to understanding when to buy and when to sell. And at the moment, we're coming into a buy period. We're in a buy period. Yeah. With the changes that I've kind of pre-announced, I think it's a really good opportunity if anyone wants to pick up some TRVL. Yeah. So you buy the rumor, you sell the news, right? And so this is the rumor. Now, I'm not saying the price is going to smash through 2 cents. I have no idea. The price could also always go up 2 cents, reject, come down. It can do, you know, the price can do anything. Yeah, that's the key. That's the thing. Price can do anything. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know that at these areas, we're probably looking for a pivot and another pivot. Hopefully higher up. If we can get back into this range, I would argue that this whole thing is a deviation from the actual range, which was this. And if this is just a deviation, that's fine. Then because we can get people will sell into the highs of the range, and the price will come back down, and then we could get an accumulation, back into accumulation or reaccumulation. Stay in the range. If you stay in the range, guess what happens next? You're in a kind of a higher time frame inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then you have a chance for a breakout. If you break out of a higher time frame pattern like this, the breakout is going to be off the charts. Really, you're probably looking to go to all-time highs. Now, I think we have a chance. Actually, I'm not sure if it's going to happen by December, but I do think in this project is a long hold. And the reason why is because once it becomes a DAO, with the leadership changes, with a lot of the ideas that we've been talking about, I see a really bright future. I see a really bright future because this is going to be different. It's going to be quite different from a lot of other crypto projects. A lot of crypto projects have already collapsed and burnt out. TRVL, with all of the problems, all of the struggles, all of the ugliness of the chart, is still fighting. It's still here. They're still doing bookings. I had a booking just last week. Yeah. You know. Look, see that? July. What does it say? July the 2nd. See that? So this is all happening. It's a decentralized business, and once it becomes a DAO, as a TRVL token holder, you become a part owner of everything, and that's really important. So this is like the one chance people have of life-changing money, I believe. But it's a long hold. Yeah, eventually this is going to bottom out. Eventually it will. Eventually what will happen is there's going to be massive interest in this, and that the real world network is going to explode, and you want to have as much TRVL as possible. So these are kind of my thoughts on TRVL. I don't know if anyone has any questions, but if you do, just post it underneath this video, or come into the Dtravel Telegram, or post it underneath my X profile, and I'm happy to kind of chat. We can have a chat. And I'm back on board, and I'm kind of working with the new team to push Dtravel in different parts of the world when I go traveling again, and hopefully we can kind of really make a big dent in the Airbnb market in the future. That's kind of where I am with Dtravel. All right, so Chris is here. Yo, what's up? Just joined. Long time no see. Hey mate, I'm good. Nice to see you, Chris Cross. QANX, huh? QANX. Let's talk about QANX. QANX is it never fails to surprise me, QANX, to be honest with you. It's like literally one of the strongest tokens, minus Bitcoin. So I think with QANX it's quite interesting because they announced, what did they do? The Quan platform, they announced third quarter, didn't they? Platform. With the Quan platform, they were looking for a second quarter mainnet release, and that didn't happen because it was being audited. They still post lots of stuff on quantum technology on their X profile. Where is it? Where did I see it? Someone will have to kind of add to this video, but I think now the mainnet is scheduled for third quarter. I don't know where it is. I think I saw it somewhere. Oh, on Telegram. Cena saying on Telegram. There you go. So what does that mean? That means buy, 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 buy. Look at that. Two nicely gigantic green candles. Like, I have literally not looked at the QANX chart in forever. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. I've been away. I've been taking a break. I didn't have to look at the charts. Look at it. No one lost any money. It's all good. It's all good. How amazing is the QANX chart? It's just gone sideways. It's just like one big consolidation sideways range since forever. I did say that. I did say this is basically going sideways. There's nothing to worry about. It does feel like it's a little bit of a something like that. Kind of similar to what I was just talking about on TRVL, you see. This is like a deviation from the range. Once you get back into the range, you kind of range bound for a bit. And then what happens next? Eventually you kind of break out, don't you? You're not really kind of getting back into the range to go down again, are you? It doesn't make sense. Once you reclaim the range and you're back in the range and you're nicely consolidating in the range, after a deviation, the next logical step is up. It's up. In my imagination, it's up, not down. It was a little bit scary for a little bit, wasn't it? Because it felt like we were going to lose these lows, but we're still performing higher lows here, aren't we? Look, higher low, higher low. This was quite scary because look, it did take out the low by a fraction, didn't it? That little low pivot. But it's still a higher low. Why? Because look, we're still putting in high lows, aren't we? It just means that you're net positive with buyers over sellers. There's more people buying than selling, less people selling than buying. Yeah. So you get these kind of crazy kind of pumpies, and then people start taking profit and then selly, but then they're buying back in. They're still buying. Yeah. They're not like walking away from the project. They're still coming back in to buy. So it's quite a good sign. It's quite nice what I'm seeing right now. I'm not really worried about QANX. It's hard to do technical analysis, to be honest with you. I've been right in the past. I've been wrong in the past. And it's anyone's guess, really. But at the moment, what I'm seeing is a sideways accumulation, just a nice long accumulation with kind of higher lows forming. Look at this. I've just pulled the volume on the whole chart on Gate, and for a short period of time, we lost the point of control. It looked like we were losing this pivot. A little deviation. This is called deviation. And then, or fail, sorry, that's called a failed auction. My bad. That's called a failed auction or deviation from the range. But it's actually a failed auction. And then buy, like lots of buying. Smash through the point of control. And right back into the highs, which is great. Looks good, doesn't it? Hey, Tim. Tim is asking me, did you do SUI? No, I haven't looked at SUI. I'll do it after this. So I think it's looking okay. Huh? It doesn't look too bad, does it? I like it that we're above this point of control in these high volume nodes. Basically, that's where most of the volume on this token is around here. And at the moment, just looking at where the volume is, almost everyone, no one is underwater at the moment. Like maybe a few people who caught the highs, but as long as you're dollar cost averaging into this, you shouldn't be underwater. You should at the very least be break even. At the very least, you should be break even, but that's good, because when people aren't underwater, they're not under pressure, they don't feel pressure to sell. And it's also good because when the rest of the market is feeling the pressure, QANX is strong as ever. It's like people are just accumulating. There's a lot of positive anticipation for the future, and it's all tied into what's happening around the world with this tech war, the next tech war to do with quantum chips. And so here, look, China is just leveled up in the quantum game. Quantum CTEX Easy Q Engine 2.0 now powers over 1,000 qubits, making it the third largest quantum system globally, right behind IBM and Atom Computing. Amazing, see? And it's only a Chinese startup. You know what these Chinese startups are like. Big news from the G7. The announcement signals that quantum technologies, once viewed as long-term scientific pursuits, are increasingly moving. You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is one day quantum chips are going to crack Bitcoin. One day it will happen. Bitcoin will have to fork, and a lot of the value will just pour into these quantum resistant chains, you know. And so this is a long hold, but once the mainnet launches, there's going to be a really nice pump season for the Quant platform, because all of a sudden you're going to get capital flowing in. So it's more of a fundamental increase in value. It's less technical. Right now, technically, all I'm seeing is accumulation. We're above the point of control. I think it looks quite healthy. There's nothing really to report. I can't really see anything technically that's scaring me or making me think this is looking bad. Yeah, I can't see it. We had the 6-month candle red, and now it's going up. It's looking to be green. Yeah, it looks okay. Huh? It looks okay. And look, on this yearly candle, you've come back down, put in a higher low. Now the price is moving up. Last 12 months, the price closed higher. It's come all the way down, collected liquidity. Now it's moving up. It looks pretty good. The candles look pretty good. Bitcoin will still have an impact on the price action. So even though we had a little pumpy while altcoins have been giving up their gains, at the moment, you know, we're getting a little bit of a rejection here because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's falling back, but ultimately it's all about buyers and sellers. If no one sells, then the price doesn't go down, doesn't it? There is one thing I wanted to kind of look at though. So I was kind of contemplating some Elliot waves. I'm going to have to redo them just because we took out the low here. What was that? So I'm going to have to delete all of this stuff actually, because it's all old stuff. This is important. So I did these kind of horizontal channels. Interestingly enough, when the price dropped, a little front run here, and look, it's come all the way for a little front run there. So these channels, horizontal channels, are still playing a role in controlling the price range. You see that slight front runs of the edges, but this is kind of like the levels. It looks like it. But also I wanted to look at the Elliot waves quickly. So yeah, so this is tricky because I said before, I think this first buyback was the first wave. You have like a little ABC here, like a extended. There's that wave one for the next wave. Probably has the two begun yet? See, the problem here is this. I want to show you. When it comes to Elliot waves, let me just get rid of those channels. This is the problem. The problem is the minute you take out the low here, you invalidate that first wave. That's just the rules of Elliot waves. So if that's the first wave, just by taking out the low, you've invalidated it. So that means that wasn't the first wave. Could this be the first wave? That's how Elliot waves is. Elliot waves, you have to kind of go back and redraw with new data. Just because we just put in a new low here, it hasn't taken out this original low here, which is in my mind the first 5 impulse wave, which is your first wave, And then what I'm thinking, still slightly different, but still the same. That's your wave 1, 1, 2, ABC. And now we're in wave 3. That was your first wave of 1. And now we're in a long 2 correction of the wave 3, which is this blue one. So we're still in that correction. Now I thought maybe that could be the beginning point, but because we've just taken out the low, you have to reset that. And because you have to reset that, we're still in a consolidation range on this second wave. Yeah. Now this could be the first impulse. This could be the first wave. Again, we don't know. The only condition is that you can't take out that pivot, the pivot that you've just put in. That means this whole thing is ABC correction. That means this was a corrective move up. Yeah. I think I did in one of my videos suggest that it will go up and will probably come back down in the past. But let's just kind of, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. Could that be it? Could it be like that? And that's your pivot, like an ABCD type situation here. Let me just do it roughly. It's a little premature, isn't it? It's obviously a news related pump, isn't it? That's definitely a news related, slightly premature, because based on time, let me just see. Again, it should have been at the same time that TRVL pivots, which is the 3rd week of July. So we've pivoted slightly earlier, but it's basically this 1-to-1. So it kind of should have been like this without taking this low. It kind of should have been like this. Yeah. And because of the news in the Telegram, we had an early pivot. So possibly correct. Possibly this is good because you have this kind of, you have your wave 1 there, bam. And then you have this kind of ABC type correction. And now we've started to move. We've started to move. That's your first wave. As long as we don't take out this pivot that we've just put in here, this low, then what we want to see is how this evolves. Because if this evolves correctly, then this should, again, this should be the wave 3, and then the blue wave 4 can't come underneath the top of the blue one, which would be that. And then we can see a nice 5 waves, and then the pivot point, the end point, again, it's towards the end of November. See that? That's when you end this wave 3, potentially. Okay. And then you've got a 4 and a 5, which could be, because the 1 is so low, you could end up with a big sell-off, and then it could be like that. It could be like that. Who knows? No one really knows. But right now, what I'm looking at potentially is maybe that was a premature pivot based on this 1-to-1 time pivot, which is corresponding with what I'm seeing on TRVL and Dtravel, which is the 3rd week of July. So it's a little bit premature, but it's a news-based pump. That could be your first wave of the next wave. It's nice, isn't it? It's like, how much did it go up? Look, almost 100%. That's a pretty nice long consolidation after the first wave. This one should be bigger. This one should be pretty big. This wave 3, because it's going to be the 3 of 3. So I like that trend-based time. Three of 3. That was your 1. Yeah. Possibly. Possibly. Who knows? No one really knows. Yeah, we're nowhere near to higher targets. So if this is correct, 1-to-1 would take us to 12 cents. It's a wave 3. It should be quite a big wave. So we should be going all the way up to 38 cents for 1.618. That'll be all-time highs, wouldn't it? That's kind of where I'll be at if this is correct. I'll be looking for like a 40 cents would be like your extended target. Yeah, and I think ultimately we have to see what happens with the rest of crypto and Bitcoin, and how that performs, because I think if Bitcoin might run first. Usually when Bitcoin starts running, altcoins don't run, they just kind of follow Bitcoin. But sometimes you get these kind of obscure smaller altcoins like this one, which does run with Bitcoin. Yeah, sometimes you get that kind of price action, that sometimes you get that behavior, and so sometimes you can get a big move. The other thing that I'm like noticing here is that you've definitely got this outer trend line. You see that? I think that's a really important trend line. Really important. I think once you break that in the future, you've broken that line, haven't you? And once you break that, then we can start running. We can really go ballistic. And that's just a swing failure. There is a little bit of a harmonic there as well, of sorts. So yeah, so if we can break that outer trend line, then we have a chance. We have a chance to break out. Then this is quite a long downtrend, isn't it? It's going all the way back to 21. So you're not just going to get, you're not going to get a measly break. We're going to get quite a crazy break, I feel. Once we break that trend line and we start going into price discovery, I feel we're going to get a really nice break. So I'm still kind of thinking to myself, $1 actually, just looking at the charts. Once we get a real nice break with Bitcoin pumping, quantitative easing, you know, risk on, you know, there's a lot of things coming together. Mainnet is the main thing. Maybe we can have a really nice push to $1. Kind of what's on my mind at the moment. It makes me want to buy more, actually. I'm just thinking about it. Shit. What do I do? How do I buy more? Oh my God. I'm going to have to sell my kidneys. Or rob a bank or something. Anyway, that's my kind of basic insights into QANX. It looks good, It looks really good. I don't have anything more to say. Cena, thanks for joining me. Crisscross, always good to have you. Guys, if you like this video, I'm going to cut it. Like, share, share. I need to build my YouTube channel. I've got a target of 10,000 people and I'm only on 840. So I'm really hoping that people who are enjoying my videos are going to help me now. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to build my YouTube channel. It's all entertainment. Yeah, I chart obscure coins. Sure. I give an opinion. Yes, it's not always right. Fine, whatever. But at least there's someone out there talking about this shit. Please like it and help me and support me. Write a comment, you know, give me a like, subscribe, whatever. Really appreciate it. I'm not asking for money. Honestly, I'm just asking for your love, and I'll keep on returning your love with love for love. That's QANX. If there's no questions, I'm gonna move to SUI. Now SUI got hacked, didn't it, Tim? I literally haven't looked at the SUI chart forever. What time is it? Oh, it's 1. See, I've already gone over time. Like, I've already been doing this for 2 hours. Shit. It's already too long. I was trying to minimize it at 2 hours. So SUI's in, I can just see SUI's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, just a little bit of trouble. The hack really hurt SUI in a bad way, didn't it? I have no idea what happened about the hack. I just know that the hack really hurt SUI. And the charts reflect it. There's probably one last wave here, wave 5 left here. And I do imagine that SUI will still hit the all-time high again, just looking at the charts. Despite the hack, yeah, I'm not going to go into this too much detail, Tim, but SUI's still finding support on the overall range value area high. See that? You see how it came and found support there? And that's kind of what you want to see, yeah, for continuation. Now, whereas before I think SUI was ultra bullish, now I'm thinking it's not as bullish as it used to be, yeah. Just simply because, you know, those hacks like that really scare people, you know, and you don't really need that. But you never know, like once tokens start pumping, they start pumping, and who knows what can happen. If I think a lot of people, if they're when they're looking at SUI now, like you're at $2.8, if you go back up to price discovery, all-time high, that's a 2x on your investment. I mean, that's quite good for a lot of people so late in the bull market. Like a 2x for most people would be really amazing. 3x would be amazing. Is SUI going to now suddenly go to $10, $15, $20? I have no idea. I just see that right now there's these anchored VWAPs and the price has fallen underneath all these. I did these from before. There's like an area of resistance here. The price is kind of forming some kind of bear flag here. It looks like it's in a local downtrend. So right now it's looking quite bearish. So I do wonder if it's going to go down again for another test and find support before it goes back up. Then if it does that, then maybe it can go up and take out the all-time high once more to reject. And that will be the end of SUI, and this last wave 5 is probably something more like that. And that would complete SUI. Something like that, because it does look like that the 1 was there and then the 4 kind of found support there. And then this latest kind of, it's finding support on the value area high. So I would like to see if something happens or something changes with the project, something big is announced or whatever. But just in the current context of the charts, I think the momentum is probably going to carry it for another attack of the all-time high, corresponding or correlating with Bitcoin. And then that's it, possibly. That's kind of what's on my mind right now. I don't really know what else to say. I think SUI should be in a much stronger position, because usually what happened in the past, Bitcoin was at all-time high, SUI was at all-time high. Now, Bitcoin's at all-time high, SUI is 100% down from its own all-time high. Clearly, that's weak. Clearly. So there's definitely been a change in behavior. Does that make sense? You see here, when SUI would lead Bitcoin before it went to the all-time high, and now look, SUI's struggling. So I think SUI is off people's radar right now, and I think that in that circumstance you should just be thinking to yourself, if SUI can make one more attack of the all-time high, like a swing failure of the all-time high, I think that'll be it in the current context. That's kind of where my mind is right now with SUI. All right, I hope that helps. I'm going to wrap it up. I haven't really looked at ETH, but one thing I am still looking at is ETH BTC. Now, interestingly, with ETH BTC, we had a really nice bullish engulfing candle in May, and I think it's quite rare to see bullish engulfing candles on ETH BTC. There's one here. Then you followed by a red and a green, small green, and then pump. 2 months of pump. See that? There's a bullish engulfing here. Then you had 1, 2, 3, three down months, and then green, and down, and then it was just going up and up and up. So I do think these bullish engulfing candles can be quite interesting. This one was a different one. This one's a bullish engulfing, but then it kind of flopped and it went lower. And so there are bullish engulfing candles here, which ends to naught, which ends to nothing. The key, I think the indicator here is that this was kind of holding the highs before it dropped, whereas this bullish engulfing candle, it went straight back down to the lows first. And this one is the same thing. It went down kind of halfway of the golden pocket first. And so I'll be interested to see what happens here. It looks like it wants to go down. And I think that's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. And then when I get back in my drawings from before, remember I said, let me just get rid of this these fibs because they're in the way. I said in the past that we're looking for a bottoming pattern on ETH BTC to indicate our mega alt season. What I was suggesting was this was it here. So not here, not here, but actually here. Okay. And we're looking for similarities, aren't we? And so there is similarities because here we hit the value area low. Here we've kind of front run the value area low. We've almost come like this. Bam. That's almost like what we've done. Bam. So we're kind of almost here, aren't we? We've had the first bounce. Maybe we have another drop for another push. Right up to the point of control. That would be like all the way up to there. And then the next drop is your entry. And that entry will be the golden pocket. That's your mega alt season. Because it comes to the golden pocket, that's when alt season begins. There. So based on that idea, it would be something like, you'd be like looking like there. Bam, bam, and that's your alt season here. Now, I don't know about the timings, but I am looking for similarities between the past and the future to kind of try and preempt or predict alt season, when alt season begins, when is a good time to go all in, max leverage, alts, etc. And so I'm still looking for this kind of situation. I think we're getting closer. I'm wondering if here, like based on the historically, when I'm looking at this, we had a full pullback from this pivot to this pivot high. Look at the pullback. It came all the way down to the 786. See, the 786 held support 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row. But what you needed was that bullish weekly engulfing. See that this candle here, that bullish weekly. That's what you want, the bullish weekly engulfing. That's your bam. And then after that, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 green weeks. Yeah, that's your first indication. So if you bring that to context here, if we can come back to the 786, that's what you're looking for here. If history wants to repeat itself, this is the 786 here. You're looking for the 786 to hold 1, 2, 3 weeks in a bullish engulfing candle. It'll be like this, and then we can go up, 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 up all the way, probably to the point of control. That will be your first kind of mini alt season. But then the real alt season begins. That's not going to be alt season, to be honest with you. That's going to be Bitcoin pumping. Then the big alt season will be when it comes back into the golden pocket, and that's when we get this. So I'm kind of still in this mindset. I haven't left this mindset. I'm just tracking the past, correlating it with the present, and trying to see what happens next. I think this is going to be really important. If we can, on the ETH BTC, if it comes back down to the 786 here for a real nice test without losing it, followed by a bullish engulfing weekly, we can get those conditions, then we can ram altcoins hard and they'll all pump. They'll all pump because Bitcoin's pumping, and then Bitcoin and ETH will play games because then the whole of the market will pump. All right, that's kind of my Sunday update. I've kind of gone over Bitcoin. I've gone over the technicals of Bitcoin. I've got all the levels of Bitcoin. If you go back to the beginning of the video, I've talked about Dtravel, why I'm back in Dtravel, why I'm wearing the shirt again. I've gone over Dtravel. I've looked at QANX, looks good. And I had a look at SUI and ETH BTC. So I'm going to try and stream tomorrow at the same time at 11 a.m. Okay, I'm going to try and keep it 11 a.m. UK time every single day. I'm going to make a video now. I'm going to post the link and try and keep it regular now for the next few weeks. See if I can do that. Okay, I'll try and do it every day. I'm really trying to build my page up again. Your help is so appreciated. Honestly, I'm not asking for money. I'm not making any money from this. This is just a hobby. But I really would love to build my page now. Like I want to take this up if I can. It's all entertainment, isn't it? It's all just community and entertainment. It's just a place for people to have a chat, have me look at their coins. I will give trade ideas based on what I see on Bitcoin, okay? But on all coins, strategically, it's always better to just dollar cost average in and try and take profit in the pumps, and that's what I would suggest. Yeah, so thanks for coming, guys. It's been a while, huh? I hope I haven't disappointed. I don't know. I have to watch my own video to see how I've done. See how it's come across. And if you don't know, I've been away in El Salvador literally for 3 months. Had lots of kind of interesting experiences. Learned how to surf. Met lots of people. I'm looking to move out there, so I'm basically looking to move to El Salvador in September. But now that I've restarted my streams, I'm looking to take my streams to El Salvador and stream from there as well. So I'm looking to just do a kind of daily stream. What I really want to do also is I want to just I want to start doing some legacy markets as well on a daily basis, but I want to try and limit it to 2 hours. I'm already over by 15 or 16 minutes. So I think that's it for today, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try and, when I say try, I'm going to be on at 11 a.m. UK time, or maybe I should do it earlier. I'm in two minds. Should I do 11 a.m. or 10 a.m.? Not sure. Let's keep it at 11, and if I have to change it, I'll do it at 10. So I'm going to finish the stream. I'm going to cut the stream into bits, and then I'm going to post the live link for tomorrow. And we can you'll have the live link ready, and then you can schedule it plan it into your lives. And that'll be great, because that will give me a chance to build my YouTube. Right, guys, thanks for joining me. Sina, Chris, Cross, Dostian, Murad, or XRP. Don't know, haven't looked at it. Neo Crypto, Dan, good to have you. Suresh, I don't know if you're still here. Anyway, good to have you guys back. Old faces, really old face, hopefully a fresh face. Right, Volodymyr Chili, tomorrow busy. Okay, sorry, mate. Oh, am I busy? Is that what you're saying? Shit, what time am I busy tomorrow? Okay, maybe not 11 then. All right, it won't be 11 a.m. It's going to be I'll call you, Chili, and you can tell me. I need to come back and stream tomorrow. What I'll do is I'll make the link and I'll post it. Maybe the afternoon then, huh? Maybe like 12. Okay, I can do 12. I can catch the New York Open. Yeah, that might work. Catch the New York Open tomorrow. I can do 12 UK time. That'll work. Sounds good. All right, cheers, Chili. I appreciate that. All right, guys, thanks for having. So like, just keep on liking. All right, take care. See you next time. See you tomorrow.